to be honest, as a country, I don't know when we're gonna have a sit down and speak about how Julius Malema has always been a victim of being taken advantage of by his own black people because of his stance of trying to always come and rescue the black child when the black child is facing a problem, always trying to come and restore the dignity of whoever black person it is. He's he's always taken advantage of, and we never speak about that because he doesn't deserve the sympathy according to the people of South Africa. He doesn't deserve the sympathy according to certain people in the community, certain people in the country. He doesn't deserve any sympathy. He deserves to be shamed. He deserves to be laughed at. He deserves all the horrible things that happen to him. We never talk about how this gentleman was able to rescue Khanyile, Bonginkosi Khanyile, when Bonginkosi Khanyile was being arrested for just being a student activist and standing up for the rights of students and standing up for himself and being vocal, exercising his own freedom of speech, was being brutalized by the police and the courts. Julius Malema and the EFF was the only political party willing to associate themselves with him and paid for his things and rescued him. Waphume ejele, waba grand uBonginkosi Khanyile. Then Chigi izinto zajika out of nowhere. He's now spitting on the face of the EFF, on the face of Julius Malema, unprovoked. Forget about who came to your rescue. You know, in the world, there's karma, I like to believe, and many of these people who still have their day, still have to face their day. And it seems as if it's normalized, you know, for people to disrespect the CIC. It's normalized for these people to to get away with disrespecting the CIC and not appreciating him for the wonderful things he has done for them. We can even talk about, let's not even talk about President Jacob Zuma, where the CIC even decided to go and visit his enemy, President Jacob Zuma, during the July unrest and try to speak some sense into him that just follow the processes so you can avoid a big scandal which happened in South Africa, which I don't even blame President Jacob Zuma. That was bound to happen, by the way. The July unrest, people were just fed up. They were using President Jacob Zuma as an escape route. We can't blame that on President Jacob Zuma. That was bound to happen, an unled revolution, like the CIC always says. And I believe there is more of those coming. Still gonna see. Keep on undermining the poor people. One day, was a vuga and they will eat you alive. So it's fine. Let's not even talk about that part. We can even talk about the part of Madam Busisiwe Mkhwebane. Madam Busisiwe Mkhwebane, by the way, when she was being destroyed as the advocate for standing up for black people in the system, in the law, in the courts, just being brutalized and being dealt with unfairly. She's even being owed like the 10 million of her. Yeah, I don't remember those monies. What are they for? I don't want to report wrong things, by the way. But is it pension? Is it some monies that if when you leave the office of advocacy, you get long-term investment that's coming from maybe pensions? I don't know. But they still owe her that. Up until today, she's still fighting that case to get her 10 million. Guess who was coming to rescue her when there was no one else willing to associate themselves with her? Yes, you guessed it right. It was the EFF and the CIC Julius Malema. And I'm not even saying she should have remained in the EFF. I'm not even saying she should even still be a member of the EFF. I'm not even saying she shouldn't have left. But the spitting on the face, disrespect, insult towards the same people who came to rescue you and stood by you when no one else was there. You insulting them, spitting on their face. There's no need for the insult. She always keep the subliminal the subliminal comment towards Julius Malema. You can see her, hello, she's trying to diss, she's trying to insult, belittling the party. There's no need for that. She can easily just move on to her new position in the MK party without doing none of that once in a while. But she does that. Not even once have we heard thank you to the CIC, thank you to the EFF for coming to my rescue, for standing by me. No one else was there. It was only the EFF. You will never hear these people thanking the EFF, by the way. Speak about so much ego and so much entitlement in black people. Can't even appreciate good things that are done towards them. What do you call that? Just saying. Country we live in, these are the people who wanna lead you, wanna lead the country. So yeah, these are your leaders in the MK party, by the way. Can you speak about Mr. Hlophe when he was being destroyed by the system, dealt with brutally, horrible? Guess who was willing to pay a visit to his home and bring gifts to his home and meet his son and sit down with him and try to bring a better, good public image towards his face, to show that even the EFF and politicians do associate themselves with this guy in public, and they're not scared to show up and show him love live. Showed him love. It was all nice pictures, clips. They restored his name, but they brought back his name into politics. It was brought back by the EFF. If Julius Malema hadn't met Hlophe, he would remain destitute in the history of nobodiness. We all know that. Don't act like you don't know that. Don't act like Hlophe would be the person he is today if he was revived by President Jacob Zuma. He was revived by Malema. Started going to podcasts. The first podcast, by the way, he went to was SAP. SABC is not a podcast. He went to SABC and all of those news channels, and then he went to one podcast that blew up, the podcast of the EFF, where he spoke his mind, was not interjected, was allowed a platform to express himself with the great Titus Ntungu. Guess what he does after that? Leaving. After that, joins the MK party. Boom! Atmosphere changes. There's a shift in the atmosphere. The man adopts the thinking of insulting, the thinking of belittling, the thinking of seeing yourself as this superior, trying to insult this small party. By the way, the lights have went out. I don't know why, but I think it's because I'm speaking about these people of the MK party. Okay, I'm using some ring light here, so I was connecting it to the laptop. So I think my laptop, the battery died. I'll connect it to the plug right now. The next video is about light, so don't worry, the light will be there. I'm not as dark like this, it's just dark in this room. So it is what it is, guys. We thank you very much. Thank you.